Hello, and welcome to Modern Miracles. My name is Tess, and this is episode 7. Today, we're going to be talking about a Eucharistic miracle that occurred in 2006 in Tixtla, Mexico. There was a retreat taking place in Tixtla, Mexico, and the parishioners were gathered together for Sunday Mass. There was about 600 people there, and two religious sisters, were helping out serve the Eucharist when one of them looked down at the ciborium, which is the little gold plate they use to hold the host, and she noticed that one of the hosts had a reddish, what looked like blood on it. She immediately took this to the priest who was celebrating Mass, Father Rayito, and showed him this host. After consulting with the other priest who was in attendance, Father Rayito announced to the crowd, "It seems we have a miracle." Very shortly after this, the bishop of the diocese got involved. His name is the Most Reverend Alejo Castro, and he would conduct investigative interviews to establish the facts. He then assigned Dr. Ricardo Castañon to oversee the forensic investigation. Dr. Castañon took 3 samples and sent them to 4 different labs across 4 countries. That would be Mexico, Bolivia, Guatemala, and the United States. Now, it's important to note that none of these labs were told what they were analyzing or investigating, and none of them knew that other labs were investigating it. All of these labs specialized in immunohistochemistry and genetics. Immunohistochemistry is a lab technique used to detect specific proteins or antigens in tissue samples. I watched this interview with one of the doctors who led this team. His name was Dr. Eduardo Sanchez Lazo. Did an interview with Ray Grijalba on the Joy of the Faith channel, and I'll link that down below and show you a video of it, or a short clip of it, later in the video. But this lab, Dr. Lazo, he usually does, forensics, crime, and things like that. So it was totally unexpected that this was anything to do with the Eucharist. All 3 of the labs were consistent in their findings. And here's what they found. There's a thin filament of tissue in the center of the host from which the blood is exuding. Histochemical tests indicate cardiac tissue. The tissue seems to be integrated with the host, which is scientifically inexplicable. Essentially, microscopically, they can see that this is coming from the center. Now, if you've seen a host, that is tiny. That's a tiny space. I'll show a picture here of what a normal host looks like. It's very thin bread. But they were able to see in these tests they did that the blood was coming from the center of the host and spreading out, almost as if it were veins, like human veins, going throughout the bread, intertwining with the material, which we don't actually have the technology to do. If somebody wanted to fake it, if someone wanted to do that, we don't have we don't know how to do that, basically. The second thing they agreed on is that this tissue was alive. The presence of active red blood cells and white blood cells slash macrophages in the process of healing was found in the examination. Now, white blood cells specifically decompose within 48 hours. They shouldn't be living. This finding was after 3 months of it having existed and was in the presence or in the possession of the lab. There should be no reason for it to be still alive. That is inexplicable. How this was living tissue that had just been there living. 3, the tissue exudes fresh blood from the inside to the outside of the host. Blood on the host's exterior was produced in 2006, while blood on the inside of the host is fresh as of 2010, the time of this scientific analysis. The pressure of natural flow is from the inside to the outside, which is scientifically inexplicable. Again, we don't know how to reproduce this if we were to fake it. 4th finding, there is human DNA present in the blood, but it is not amplifiable. Now, I'm not going to do a good job of explaining this, but I have this clip here from Ray's channel, from the Joy of the Faith channel, and it has the doctor who did this investigation. So I'm going to play that now, and he can explain it better than I could.
Here's the genetic sample. The equipment recognizes that there is DNA, but when I tried to amplify it to make a polymerase sequence, I go to the next one, and at this point there is nothing. So my team told me there is no DNA. I said, how come there is none? We just identified it. Did they contaminate the sample or what? They said, no way. You stay put and we'll run it again step by step. Again, we extracted the sample of almost 1 centimeter long by 3 centimeters long. From there, we had to go do magic to be able to extract the largest amount of sample. We had to get as much as we could, and usually the samples run out. I said, okay, let's do the test again. I took the sample, entered it into the genetics equipment, and it recognized that there was DNA. What follows is to amplify and run the sequence, but nothing appeared. So they told me, you see, you either contaminated it or did something to it. I told them, of course, I did not contaminate it, but indeed it was erased. It disappeared completely. There is no explanation as to why the information got erased when we wanted to pass it from one side to the other. I have worked on more than 1,200 genetic cases. Whenever we find DNA, it is obliged to amplify and show a sequence in the sample. But this time, it just does not show. On this particular case, it does not show.
As you can see, there are, like most of these miracles, layers to the miracle. Multiple inexplicable things have to happen for this to happen at all. And it's the deeper you look, the more miraculous it gets. Now, Dr. Castagnon has sent all of these findings to the Vatican, and they are still investigating. This has not been declared an official Eucharistic miracle yet, but I feel like it's worth talking about because there is so much evidence for it, and it's so recent. We, you know, happening in 2006 with all of the modern technology we have is, you know, a great example of a miracle happening today in our time. So, thank you for watching. Tell me what you think about this. If you have any suggestions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thanks.